Go. So thanks. Well, thanks. I've got Postman here today. So we're talking more with some of our colleagues on the game on the Snooker 19 PlayStation League, and this is the Talking Balls podcast. And I'm Wrighto74, and with me is Postman. So hi, Postman.
Hi there. Morning to you.
Thanks for coming on. I know you dropped everything to come on and join me, so it's really kind of you.
That's okay.
So tell us a little bit then. Obviously, people won't know much about how long others have been on and how they got into the game. Perhaps you could just tell us a little bit about how you got into the Snooker 19 League and also getting the game itself.
Well, I've always been a big snooker fan, but getting into the game itself, a mate of mine, Hazy Kestrel, who some of the guys know, I've been gaming with Hazy for the best part of 20 years, and we play golf, we muck about on flight sims, hunting, virtual hunting, all sorts of crap. And he just said to me, "Have you got the snooker game?" Because we used to play on a game called Ice Snooker on the PC years ago. And I said no, but I'll download it, and we just got playing it, and then just between the two of us, and then he said, "Oh, there's one of the guys. I think it was it's no guts. I don't know whether he knew him through another online forum he was involved in.
Right.
He just said, this guy's setting the league up, so do you fancy giving it a go?" So I did. And within, within about a month, Hazy had left, but I carried on, and yeah, I've enjoyed it. But the game itself, well, I come from, some of you know, I come from Cleethorpes, and Grimsby and Cleethorpes is a hotbed of snooker.
Right.
I actually went to school with Ray Edmonds' son. For those of you who remember Ray Edmonds, I mean, he was a decent pro back in the late 70s, early 80s. He was actually world billiards champion. He was best mates with Terry Griffiths, and Terry Griffiths used to play around at his house, which is literally just around the corner from where I live now. So I got into the game like that, really, watching Pop Black and playing snooker. Used to play with Alan Edmonds, Ray Edmonds' lad.
Oh, okay.
Got to be a pretty decent player in the early years, I suppose. Played snooker at university. I actually played with a lad he went semi-pro. Got to the final of the Yorkshire Open, so he was playing at a reasonable standard.
Wow. And
he was mates with a guy called Martin Clark. Some of the guys will remember him. He was a pro in the late 80s. First day I rocked up into the snooker room in the Hall of Residence, playing this lad called Neil. Broke off, played a fairly decent break off, and I could knock in 20, 30 breaks.
Yeah.
Played a fairly decent break off. He whacked in a red and knocked in a 98 breaks.
Really?
Wow. Player. and he taught me quite a bit. And I got to the stage where I was knocking in near 50 breaks.
Blimey.
But then never played the game for about 20 odd years.
Yeah.
And I have actually started playing. I've played a lot of pool. Played pool to a reasonably high standard round here. Beaten a couple of professional snooker players at pool.
Oh, right, cool.
And won the Premier League title round here with the local cricket club. And then started playing snooker again. A mate of mine, much younger than me, he's got into the game seriously. He's got a John Paris cue and all the rest of it. So I've been knocking balls around with him until COVID, and got to be knocking in 20, 30 breaks, again. So, but the old eyes are going. That's the point. I can actually play the long pots better than I can the short pots.
Really? Wow. Yeah. You notice that, don't you? You say there about almost coming back to the game. I mean, for me, it's similar. I played the other night with my dad, and that was the first time I played in over 20 years. And I was never, I was never brilliant, but I mean, my record break was 27, and that doesn't sound like a lot, but it was all the colours, and you think, oh, that's not bad. But then, you just kind of played again, and it was nice to get back to it, and you start feeling a bit of style and how you want to follow through on your shots and stuff. And but it's so much harder than the game, isn't it? We're used to in the game kind of putting some reasonable breaks together with little effort. In truth, the real game is it's different gravy, isn't it?
Well, it's totally different, and even though I probably concentrate more on the real game, you still don't make breaks. Whereas, you know, the other night against you, just missed that straight pop just because I'm not concentrating. I'm moving on to the next thing straight away because you can back up, you can bang 100 breaking in 3-4 minutes. You know.
Yeah. So your gamer tag then, Postman. You know, I've asked you before whether you're a postman. You said on our group chat, I think, that you weren't. So what's the origins of that one?
That goes back to the early online gaming days as well. We used to do a lot of flight simming with Hazy and another guy called Enzo, a Belgian guy who was a real wizard on flight sims. And we used to play Counter-Strike as well. And we had this little Counter-Strike clan. And Enzo gave us all, he was the clan leader, and he gave us all nicknames. And mine was the Postman, because I used to go with the sniper rifle on the roof and I used to shoot. And he said, the postman always delivers. So that's how I got
brilliant. That's cracking, yeah. So, and as you say, you got into the game, you've got back into the PlayStation side of it, and learning more about you really behind the gamer tag itself. I know one of your big passions, and anyone who engages with you on social media will know this, is music. Clearly, you're a big music fan. Yeah. What again? You know, where does that come from? How big are you into it? What do you listen to?
It's probably easier to say what I don't listen to. I, again, got into that fairly early age. Got into sort of like the punk, new wave, mod revival stuff. Got going to gigs quite early. I actually used to sing in a choir, and I was pretty good at that. And I wished I'd carried on singing because I'd have enjoyed a career in music. There's a few professional musicians in the family.
Right.
I do actually write a few songs as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'll send you one or two of them when I've had a few practice.
Not a variant on Snooker Loopy, I hope.
No, more a variant on sort of Pistols, Jam, Stranglers, tunes, and I the COVID thing inspired me to do that. I started writing songs. You know, COVID-19, it fucks with my mind and all this sort of thing.
Yeah.
To the Golden Brown tune of the Stranglers, and I did about 20, wrote about 20 tunes late at night after a few glasses while I was listening to music. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, I'll show you the that's my record collection there. If you see that.
Yeah, very impressive. Yeah, it's a lot of vinyl there. So for anyone listening to the pod, it's a whole host of vinyl in the bookcase is full. And I know that when you put out your messages on Facebook and things, you're almost letting people into what you listen to at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. Me and my mate do that on a Friday. The amount of people that well, some Friday nights, the amount I didn't do for long last night because ironically today is World Record Store Day.
Oh, so, yeah.
I've spent 300 quid on limited edition.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah,
I was outside the little independent record shop locally in Grimsby at 5:45 this morning. So
wow,
dedication for you.
Take it seriously, yeah.
But yeah, I mean the genres. It's you know a bit because we've chatted. Crosses over to a lot of stuff you like, the sort of hard rocky, the cult, the Royal Blood, that sort of stuff. But basically, anything indie, punky, but also quite a lot of the 60s stuff, Beatles, Stones, Kinks. I'm fairly into the mod culture, so anything in that vein. Big Paul Weller fan. Paul Weller, New Order. Big New Order fan as well.
Yeah. They didn't. I think I don't know if it's the last album they did. They did one a few years ago, didn't they? That was a great album. It had Plastic on it, and those songs. I'm trying to remember now. You got it there, haven't you?
I've got a special box set. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes. So, Music Complete. Complete. Yeah. Restless, Plastic, and Academic. They were the three things. Oh, and Tutti Frutti.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's on there. That's very nice. And how do you feel about the streaming services? Obviously, it gives people a chance to listen to a lot more music very quickly, but there's no physical product, and there's a temptation probably not to listen to an album the way it was created as well. I mean, how do you feel about all that?
I have mixed feelings. I've got a few friends who've got bands who are, been on music. I'm Radio 6. Bunch of local lads who had a band called Orphan Boy, made 3 albums, they were actually stablemates to the Cortinas in Manchester, and they got the budget. Had some good times with them actually. But and it finished bands like that, you know, in the sort of early to mid noughties, I suppose. It started to finish bands that could do that from a commercial perspective. But equally, for those that do make it big, they've often got there because of that accessibility. I tend to like the products like SoundCloud, where independent musicians put the music on, as well as some of the more commercial acts. But it does. I have to have a physical product, I'll be honest with you, because you know, as well as the vinyl, I've got like 3,500 CDs.
Have you? Wow.
But I drive a Tesla car that's got a Spotify.
Okay.
Just talk to the car and play and actually that does. You can have that bit of buy before you try before you buy.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So mixed things generally, to be honest.
Yeah. And to be honest, we could almost do another pod on electric vehicles. You mentioned the Tesla there. I've got an I-Pace that I've got on a lease through work.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice, and I'd never go back personally. Never go back to diesel or petrol. Not a chance.
No chance. No. I mean, it's company car and the zero company car tax. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So thinking back to the snooker, I mean, who looking at the game now and looking at the past as well? I mean, who's your current favourite player? And if you look back a bit further, you know, who's been the ones you've looked up to?
Looked up to or liked.
Well, yeah, whichever you want. It might be different.
Yeah, I love to watch Ronnie still. And I think if he, you know, if he wanted to, he could put the hammer down. I like Kyron Wilson currently among the current players. I like Neil Robertson, Sean Murphy. I think they're great guys as well, as full of talent. Back in the day, I mean, the reason snooker is what it is because of Alex Higgins, and I mean, he used to play around the clubs here, and he was a rum lad, wasn't he? But some of the other heroes, people like Keith Moon, you know, all the sort of rock stars, they're all similar. George Best, you know, I'm a Man United fan, so there's always a bit of nutcase in there.
Yeah.
I look up to. And Jimmy White obviously took over that mantle. I used to love watching Tony Drago play. Yeah. Cliff Wilson, the old Welsh guy, if you can remember.
Right. Okay.
He was a great potter. But I would say when White started to wane, it was Higgins, White, then Ronnie, really.
Yeah. I mean, and as you say, there's a bit of an edge to some of these characters, isn't there? And they're kind of rock stars in their own right, aren't they? I mean, Ronnie's a rock star. Higgins was a rock star. Yeah. It's interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see the kind of the new wave coming through, whether we get anybody emerge with that kind of swagger, really, or whether now with social media it's harder to kind of have that. I don't know.
I think the game's getting branded a bit differently, isn't it? You've got all the Chinese players coming through who are all very, very clean cut and disciplined, and I think that's rubbed off on a lot of our younger talent. You know, Judd Trump, he's flamboyant, but he's put that sexy snooker in the box a bit. He's much more about winning and professionalism. So, which, I mean, you see a lot more phenomenal snooker now. Some of the standard, but I don't know. In some ways, the game's lost a little bit of the unpredictability that you used to have, I think.
Yeah. Maybe partly since they stopped having booze and all the rest of it on the table next to them.
I think that was the start of it, definitely.
So you go back to the game. I always ask about the current season. Obviously, it's a strange time in a way because we're so early in the new season. But I guess it'd be useful just to reflect on the season you've had, and we're early days now in the new one. So how's it going? How are you feeling?
Yeah, last season, obviously, I just about survived in League One. I had a good season the season before. I got promoted to League One. And then I only really survived because of the dropouts. Having said that, I did take frames and points off the top players in there.
Yeah.
You've played me. I'm very inconsistent. On my day, I can play very well. Other days, I'm not on it. But I did have a couple of decent results last season. This season, played Fishing Frenzy the first match, and yeah, it was a fairly easy win, to be honest. I don't think, you know, I had a couple of really good breaks in the first 2 frames, and then a bit of a I got on a bit of a roll in the third, and then he just went to pieces, really. But
yeah,
he's just come up into that league. He had a good season last season, so I don't know. There's a few guys come up that are probably more my sort of standard. Was the guys that have gone up last season that you know, they'll probably go through, you know, through the championship.
Yeah, I think there's a whole thing, isn't there? Over, I mean, we played in the. It was interesting. We played in the longer kind of version with the World Championships. So the first round was you had to get to 10 first, so best of 19. And I think for me, we went into that last session, and you know, I think we had an odd session in the middle, didn't we? Which kind of really split us up a bit, 5-1 or something. I think you must be. I think you were intoxicated.
Well, if you remember, I won the first frame of that session, didn't I? And then lost 5 on the spin. Yeah, I'd been down at the cricket club for 4 or 5 hours before the England match, and for half an hour after the England match, and the 1.5 hours of football in between. So I don't know. I'd put a few away. Yeah.
I think for me the interesting bit was then we played another one, and then we had the last one just the other night, and Thursday, and it was that thing where I think I was 4 ahead and I needed to win 1, you needed to win 5 on the bounce, and the night before you'd won your 4-0, and I thought if he does this again, we'll be at 9-all. If he does this to me now on Thursday, it'll be 9-all, and how am I going to feel if I've let a 4-frame lead go and have a last frame decider? I was thinking, you've got to get this done earlier, else you're going to be in big trouble.
Well, I'd made my mind up. I was just going to go for it, because if you remember, I didn't tip-tap about. I actually opened the balls up, because when I've played you, you've actually had more success when you've tied me up, and I've had more success when I've attacked. So I thought, sod it, I'll attack, and you know, if you make 20 or 30, okay, fair enough, I'll go and clear up, which is what I've done a few times. So, and truth be told, I should have had a big break, shouldn't we, in that frame. I missed that stupid red, concentrating on stunning the ball to get perfect on the black, which is where it was, and after that I think I got one more half chance, really, didn't I? But you'd more or less closed the frame out. So yeah, but it was good fun. Yeah,
it's been really close, isn't it? Really competitive. I think that's been the good thing about it. It's and that longer way of doing it, we play obviously 4 frames in the league, and you can draw in that. But this is kind of a very different. You can have the odd session, can't you, where you think, oh, not really flowed today, but you've still got a chance of doing something the next time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was interesting. And what about the future of the you know, obviously both with the game, and you know, we're trying to make it a bit more involving, engaging. We're trying to take it different places, get other people watching what we're doing. Just wondering on your thoughts, really, and of course what you want to achieve this season in the game as well.
I think it's really good what you've sort of really invigorated this side of it, which is more, to me, is more engaging, and the interactive thing is more engaging than a WhatsApp group and a website, in all honesty. I think this adds a bit more depth and a bit more interest to it, so it's good. And you know, I'm continue to support you with this sort of thing and help out where I can. But yeah, I'm actually, I think the sort of, with the guys going up that have gone up, I've probably got a bit better chance to not just survive. I'd like to finish middle of the league, you know, minimum this season. But you know, I'm that inconsistent. I could end up pushing for promotion. I could end up fighting relegation. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. You never know which postman's turning up, do you?
No.
If I put it that way.
bit of a Leeds United or an Everton, you know, could end up down the bottom.
No, you're dangerous on your day, that's for sure. That's yeah. There's days where you just blow it away, and it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to get that consistency, and I'm presuming the ones at the very top must be playing quite regularly and practicing a lot to be able to be as consistent as that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't tend to practice really. I just play the competitive games. I might have a half an hour before the game, just you know, on the sort of you know, the artificial intelligence, or just on the practice table feature. But I'm not on it all the time like some of the guys are.
Yeah. And just to round off, there's just a few quick fire questions, if you don't mind, Andrew. So it's the standard ones I ask everybody. It's just to find out a bit more. So, and the answer might be no or neither. So it's up to you. So the first one is Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. All right, it's the right answer. Well done. Going back, this might be more about style, or you've already hinted about this, so I might have already got the answer. I was going to say Cliff Foreman or Alex Higgins, but I've got a feeling I know the answer.
You know the answer. Yeah.
It's not the grinder. Okay.
No, the runner up in the 1980 World Championship. That's
the cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay. Have you got any?
No, but I don't like cats. I do like dogs.
All right, fair enough. We've had a good split on that one, actually. Obviously, Chef is going to post cats out to anybody who wins a trophy this year. Hopefully, the RSPCA aren't listening on that one. Yeah. And this is more, I guess, about city v country and, you know, different attitudes, or even where you've been. But New York or New Zealand?
That's a tough one. Probably New Zealand. Yeah, probably New Zealand.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the big skies and the roaming features, lovely. Have you been to either of them?
No, no. Plan to probably, ironically, before this COVID stuff, plan to go to the States. Maybe it'd have been this year or next year. I've been to Canada a couple of times. Really like Canada.
Very cool, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And a posh meal out or fish and chips?
It's got to be a posh meal out, because fish and chips around here is down the road, down the seafront, you know. So it's got to be a posh meal out, really.
Yeah. It's the kind of the home, isn't it? Really, yeah. Yeah, lovely. So I think we'll wrap up. I guess it's just, is there anything you want to say to the guys? Obviously, quite a few of the guys in the group will probably watch this. Any war cries or anything? Any rallying calls? Anything you want to say?
No, I'm pretty chilled. I'm not. I play the game for fun. I'm not really bothered win or lose. I enjoy it. It's a bit of crack, and I think this, I don't know, a bit more sort of social side and interactive side good. And the more people that participate, the better, really.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it'll grow, and for me, that's been the major bit. Actually, it's been, the game's great, but there's something around. You know, we're all real people with our own lives. It's quite nice to connect a bit more. So, I think we'll keep doing this as long as people want to do it. We'll be fine. We'll do it. So, so appreciate your time, and yeah, as I say, best of luck with the rest of the season. I mean, it's pretty much the whole season, and no doubt we'll come across, get back onto the table, the virtual table again sometime.
Well, we probably ought to practice together, because we're probably about the same standard, slightly different game, and we're probably both, you know, a session a week practicing might be a good idea for both of us.
I know what you mean. I know. If I could get more time, I'd be much better. Yeah. But yeah, appreciate your time. So on to the next episode, and thanks again. And as I say, you know, we're trying to take this places, and we're trying to get people involved also in the game to come on. So please get in touch, and we've got lots of various media channels you can find us on. So thanks a lot. Thanks to the Postman today, and we'll see you all again very soon.
Cheers, Michael.
Cheers.